And that's my thought process. Until we listen to them, FOCO is on its way, and that's why we just keep ahead.
You've been in there, what's ongoing there?
No, we are waiting on FOCO. He's being brought to the police station. We just, as his colleagues, thought that it was important for us to escort him.
Representative FOCO, who else have been invited?
No, you need to ask. You need to ask the police.
The caliber of armament at his residence, can you guarantee him a safety here?
Okay, so because of what we learned on Facebook, in terms of the amount of police officers and armament that are surrounding his house, we chose to come along with him. That's what we
Do you think this will have a serious negative implication on the political career?
No, it wouldn't. I mean, accusation is one thing, facts will be another thing. So,
Honorable Sibo, why do you the process?
the process, well, the fact is, this must be investigated. We can all throw stones around to accuse each other, but we need to get to the meat and substance of it.
Honorable Sibo, how do you see this? During the administration of President Weah, there was a series of accusations, there was a series of threats. One of those persons, the controversial lawmaker, District 9, District 10 lawmaker, nobody used to post on threat even on Liberia, and there was no arrest made. And today,
so you see the diversions of ruling. I mean, during Judge Weah's ruling, in fact, you were here when protests were being held. Police was giving water and everything else. So again, you can tell by yourself. We see the politics, but the fact is we have a catastrophe. The House of Representatives, the seat of the first branch, the joint chamber is burnt, and so there must be an investigation.
What's your session on the burning of the joint chambers of the parliament?
So a lot of things can come into play. Mind you, when the people get weary and they think that justice is not being served, they will vote in many ways. Now, I'm not saying it's the people, I'm just saying, and that's why we have consistently said that the court must be as clear as possible. Let's dispense justice and let's get laid by it. Because if you don't, I mean, you yourself, your husband at home, he did not do what you expect him to do, and you feel he's disenfranchised, you take some actions. Now, I'm just saying, we just need to ensure that we investigate further to know what is the root cause of this.
How do you see the police action not inviting Mo Ali because there have been a session and people
so that's the politics of it. That's the politics of it, because Mo is not a politician. He works for Joseph Walker, so he's not called, and so we understand that. Because FOCO is a politician and he's on the side of where the government does not support, it makes sense to
so
invite. The president is not serious.
So you see the president is not serious?
Yes. Rule of law is totality. You can't be preaching rule of law in one end and you don't want to preach it in another end. The president has got the guts in the face of the Supreme Court ruling to recognize people who are not legitimate. He does not have the moral character to discuss rule of law. So we who have got moral character to discuss rule of law, let us talk, and not the president.
The IG said no legislative immunities will be given to anyone who might fall default.
The laws are there.
Assuming if Representative FOCO comes and he wants to be detained, or he was going to be detained by the
will not be detained. There are rules and laws that govern how we operate. You cannot say because he said something it means that he is guilty. From time to time, you want to invite him, we bring him. You will not detain him.
The police RG said in his words, and I'm being exact on his words, that invite was issued the lawmaker, which he denied. Something that.
So because you are not increased to 100, we are saying, we said, and we will say again. We will say it again. You can be 1,000. But we say at the time of that petition, we were clear. We said in the instant case, the legislature not having given an enabling statute to ensure compliance with Article 33. At that time, there was a presiding officer, there was a speaker, okay, that will cause the court, to do this. So the court cannot do for the legislature they should do for themselves. This is what we said. So what made you go now and designate another speaker when there was already a designated speaker when this court spoke?
There was not a designated speaker as such on the case. Let me go back to your own statement of facts.
Yeah.
Let's assume they have gone back there. And when the speaker was never able to get this why 43 are sitting? Doesn't that make them dysfunctional?
Why is the 43 sitting? That's my question.
Because they are members of the legislature, they are members of the house, they have an obligation to sit. And they were not sitting in the absence of a presiding officer, they were sitting in the presence of a deputy speaker.
Where was the speaker?
The speaker was sitting in another office. Your Honor. Your Honor. Even though
how can you take lawmakers and hold them hostage like little kindergarten children in one location? You bring them to where you carry them back. You bring them to where you carry them back. You know, I mean, my colleagues, man, they got to try hard. They were not elected for that. You know, to go be hold up. Then the question is, who's paying the bill and all of that? So leave the hotel, go to your house with your family, get up in the morning, come to work, and you'll be collecting your signatures. How can you take lawmakers and hold them hostage like
results of death, the death was the result of drugs.
For a bill not to be billable, it should be something that we should be very.
The IG termed as issuance of arrest for him. This is not an invite. The IG said he turned down the invitation of the police. So an arrest was issued for him. Now, these are two strong words. Where an invite is denied, there's an arrest issued. So that arrest issue could be termed as something else by the Liberian National Police. That's why we are very specific about whether he's going to be detained by the
Let me
Liberian
say
National
this and say this without missing my words. We are across roads as a country. What we need to do is to find solution to where we are going. Foko, whether he was invited or not, because we heard that he was invited, we chose to come ahead to give him an escort. The police will do their work. The police will make a decision. But this matter is got to be discussed more exhaustively. So again, I don't want to play with the words of invite and arrest. Foko is going to be brought.
Solidarity, and we are now.
No, so if you know me, you're supposed to know me well. I come from Nukuta, we don't hire ourselves.
What if the police is...
I'm saying to you that whether it's political or not, let the rule of law take its course.
What if the
majesty of
police
this how long you think, or do you expect the police to conduct investigations?
No, there's just an invite, and so investigation is going to be continuous.
Well, President, we are definitely come to this headquarters because we learned that he is in country as well.
So ask President Weah that question. I'm not President Weah. I don't work for President Weah right now. So you need to.
But when he falls under the...
Do you care to give update on... the police insists that he should be detained following his Facebook post?
That's the police prerogative. So what we're going to be doing is to ensure that we find a common ground and a safe landing spot. The police have got right to invite anybody. I'm a representative. I can be invited by the police if the security of the state is threatened, and that's what the police have done. And that's why we, as responsible lawmakers who believe in the rule of law, have said we will escort our colleagues to come.
So, Representative, do you trust the Liberal National Police in this investigation? In that you have been complaining that the security were not invited and they've been on the grounds of the capital. Now with this, do you trust them with this investigation?
Well, we will deal with situations as they occur. We were disappointed in them the other day when they came at the capital, which they shouldn't have done. Howbeit, let's see how this rolls. Based on how it rolls.
With the many rule of battles ongoing in the country, you've been an honorable person. What is your assessment about the entire situation in the country, reaching from the alleged lack of respect for the rule of law to where we are? Yesterday we had a tense protest with protesters and the Liberian National Police. What can you safely say? Because the peace of this country lies on
so
not
I'm
just...
one person who's been speaking to my colleagues on the other side. Fonati was not elected to be speaker. Primarily, he was elected to represent the people of District Number 2 in Grand Coulee County. It's our choice that made him speaker. It's our choice that will take him out. But you see, the politics got to be guided by the law. So what we've said to our colleagues, can you come, let us make a case to take up Fonati. The danger of not doing that, you can't be preaching rule of law in one end and you don't want to preach it in another end. The president has got the guts in the face of the Supreme Court ruling to recognize people who are not...
Therefore, the result of drugs. I would like to take this time to express my thanks and appreciation to the committee for doing a wonderful job. I think at this point in time in our history, we will be judged on what we said and what we did today. Many young people in my community have written me and asked the question over and over. Reverend Enders, what have you guys done about the drug bill? Every community that I go to, I get the same question over and over. I think today, as we debate and talk about the life of our young people, as we talk about what's going to happen to them, it is important that I express my thanks and appreciation.
Honorable Speaker, fellow colleagues, co-presiding, speaking and representing the people of the electoral district number 9.
Hey, good afternoon, good afternoon, Liberia, and today it's 04082025, today Tuesday, the 8th of April. As a matter of fact, we say a pleasant welcome to this spectacular edition of the program, The Heat. This is the People's Program, the program that brings you up to speed the other majors happening in Liberia, Africa, and the rest of our one world. And don't forget, the geometry of the whole must be kept high on the agenda because it involves the majority. And those that come with equity, they must come with clients. On today, I am your humble servant as usual. I'm J. Nathaniel, the Vice Senior, the Ambassador, or just call me JNBV on the search handle there, and you will find me upon. And also I have with me on the program as usual, Sakandu, on this spectacular Tuesday edition of the program upon. Be with us until 1:30. Remember, we are on YouTube, Cool Channel 2 on YouTube. You can follow us there, and we are also on Facebook. Just go there, Cool, on Facebook at the search handle, and you'll be a part of today's spectacular edition of the program. As usual, on our radio 91.9. Don't forget www.knewsonline.com. We are also live across the world, across the globe, for your listening. Roll on to die. Many thanks to all of you. We have the comments super strong. They are the building block to our modern emerging democracy. So we encourage your comments. And remember, we open the lines on the program where we will have you on our talking points on today. And there are several major issues we'll be talking about on today. But first, the Liberia mining industry of Liberia has witnessed a revival after the civil war, which ended in 2003. Gold, diamonds, and iron ore from coal minerals of the mining sector, with a new mineral development policy and mining code being put in place to attract foreign investment. In 2013, the mineral sector accounted 11% of the GDP into the country, and the World Bank projected a further increase in the sector by 2017. The mining sector is considered a prime mover for the economic growth of the country, and its exploitation has to be appropriately balanced with sustainable environmental preservation of its rich biodiversity. Apart from the iron ore extractions, cement, diamond, gold, petroleum resources have also been given due importance to enrich the economy of the country. In the 1970s, one of the most productive gold districts in West Liberia was identified to be the Godoja, the Namblama, the Kumba Community Gold Mineral Limited or Mines Limited, the KCGM Liberia, located in Wapolo County. Prior to the 1990, mineral exports accounted for country's export earning, and it amounted to about 25% of its gross domestic product, the GDP. However, during the civil war that lasted for about 14 years till 2003, many major mines stopped operations and resulted into near zero contribution to the nation's economy. Why mines resources or mineral resources in Liberia has remained largely untapped is alluvial gold has been exploited by the artisanal miners for a long time. By 2004, diamond drilling programs were underway at the KGL, Wenju, and the Gordonja. Wide gold prospecting was operation into the Butter Hill, the Banja, Damblama, Wapolo, and the Soso Camp. In 2012, there was a significant discovery of petroleum which remained to be extracted. The source is said to have a potential of 1 billion barrels. Officially, extractions of diamonds were about 155,000 carats as of 2001, but the quantity illegally smuggled to the neighboring countries of Sierra Leone, Guinea, the Ivory Coast was reportedly much higher. Other significant minerals reported are the bauxite, the barley, the chromite, the columbite, the tantalite, copper, the kyanite, the lead, the molybdenum, the nickel, phosphorus, rare earth minerals, the silica sand, the tin, the rhenium, and zinc, and also beach sand, which have the zircon, the rutile, the emenite, the monazite, also included in Liberia. Today is the 8th of April. Today the history is a regular feature on our program where we'll bring you developments from across the world onto a day today basic today 1912 Sonja Henny, a Norwegian American figure skater who won the world amateur championship for women in the 10 consecutive years from 1927, 1936, and 3 gold medals in the Winter Olympics Games for 1908, 1932, and 1936, was born on the 1912 on the 8th of April on today. 1 year after that, the 17th Amendment, which called for the direct election of the United States Senator by voters of the state, was also ratified today, the 8th of April on the 13th. That is 1913. 7 years after that, 1920, the Venus de Milo, an ancient statue commonly thought to represent the anthropodite, was fallen in pieces on the Aegean island of Milos. It was later reconstructed and put on a display into the Louvre in Paris today in 1928. 21 years after that, the British fashion designer Vivienne Westwood, who with her pardon Malcolm Lilarin, extended the influence of the 1970 punk music movement into fashion, and today in 1941 was born. 9 years after that, the Jawaharlal Nehru of India concluded with the Delhi Park with the Laikwak Allah Khan of Pakistan, providing for the safe passage of refugees displaced after several years on. Today's history is a regular feature on our program where we bring you development from Liberia, Africa, and the rest of our one world. We say many thanks for following us on today. Today is the 17th. Today is the 8th of April, and the year stands at 2025. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and pleasant welcome on today on the spectacular edition of the program. Many thanks all of you for following us on our live. You can also place your comments, your suggestions on. But before I leave you today on the 8th of April, in 1938, the Ghanaian statesman and Secretary General of the United Nations, Kofi Annan, was born in Kumasi, the Gold Coast. He died on August 18, 2018, at the age of 80 into the Bern, Switzerland. Don't forget the celebration of the Buddha birth. On this day, most practitioners of the Buddhism in Japan celebrate the birth of the Buddhists, who lived in India sometime between the 16th and the 4th century BCE and founded Buddhism on today. Good afternoon, good morning, blessed and welcome on today. Be with me until 1:30. Let's take this break.
And also representing the youthful population of this nation, we have realized as young people in this country that the young people have been seriously affected, most especially this generation when it comes to the drugs issue in Liberia. So to our brothers and the community that discuss the issue, what we want to say here, Honorable Speaker, to all of my colleagues who have made their different presentations as it relates to the different components within this law, like my senior brother, Honorable Master Poet just stated, in keeping with the different components, most especially when Honorable Alpha Jones spoke about the user, the seller, the victim. I think that should be our most paramount concern. The person who brings the drug into the country, the distributor, and most especially those who are using it, or those who we consider as the victim. We should not be that pathetic. We should not sympathize to the extent that we also encourage those users to go and do this illegal drug business in the name of we are protecting them because they are victims.
Thanks for joining me today. Flower Living with Door Ear Court. And today there are several issues that caught our attention. Excuse me, and important that we bring this forth to Liberians. You know, our major conversation will settle down on this issue of the ombudsman, where several officials of government have been slammed with fine after requested process of meeting, and none of those issues you resolved. So the ombudsman came up that there be a fine on those officials, $1,000. But then, as a matter of fact, there's a twist in this process, because as a matter of fact, tomorrow on the 9th of April at about 10 o'clock they are to meet, and the office of the ombudsman has said if they fail this time to meet, there will be further and harsher punishment or recommendations, even going to the extent of recommending to the president dismissal of those people. Mind you, they are government officials that were appointed by the president, that were confirmed, commissioned to function. We talk about that. The commission at Independent National, that is a commissioner at the Independent National Commission on Human Rights, the INCHR, has something to say about this. We're going to look at the law on this, citing how it is not in the purview of the office of the ombudsman. They have no legal framework to institute or impose fine on folks who have not been investigated yet and all that, but the office made their position clear on that. But you know, I want to say something that is very important for Liberians. This issue of our fake doctors. There are a lot of fake doctors masquerading the corridors of this country in our communities, and Liberians themselves have fallen victim, and they are brought into these people ideas that in the eyes of the community or those affected see them as doctors. You remember the issue there at the Lufa Medical Center, and the doctor is being found. He escaped, he was on a run, he's been caught, and now he's facing alleged manslaughter before the Liberia National Police and being processed, sent to court. It is not everybody who say medicine or who are in the pharmacy they are doctors, or who can give injections, because there are some folks going to first aid training. They go to these nursing institutions who go around the communities. You know, it's a form to help folks find their passion, find a way of life, and when you find it, you further your education and you reach to where you want to be. But there are some people who just go to first aid training, so now 6 months, 9 months. They purport themselves to be doctors in the communities. And the folks of the community see them as doctors. To the extent they are performing functions they know nothing about. This is important. And this is why we have decided to bring this up to you. You know, let me commend the Liberia Medical and Dental Council. They've been so proactive. But in my mind, They still not doing well. They still not doing well. You know, there was this incident, and thanks to the John F. Kennedy Medical Center there, they have come in. And this one happened right around here, and 2 hours is coming there. A little boy had a kid, and the parents were saying that his arm got broken while with his grandmother way in Nima County. And after several attempts of traditional healing, the mother said, the grandmother said, I can't keep you here long. Based upon the recommendation of the local traditional healer, and that's why sometimes I gotta be very careful. More often they will not say this to you, but we will say it to you. He recommended for proper medical facility, and there should be X-ray and all that on him. So this little boy came to Moserado in a 12-house community. They from the two phone one man we call Dr. Wise, and they said, hey, man, he's a doctor. You know, whether he had the credentials or not, the parent didn't care about it. Until the condition of this boy not getting anything better, it's getting troubling. So the Liberia Medical and Dental Council got a tip off on this thing. So they got involved. Went there just to know that there was something entirely fictitious about this Dr. Wise involved with this thing regarding credentials. He's a medical man. And some of you, some of our fellow members have been victimized by this act. They will have somebody sick, they say they'll treat the person in the hour from the doctor, treat the person home. And there's no proper lab carry out analysis and to know the sickness or all may be for victim of this thing here, one or the other. But it's not good. Especially folks that don't know their background. You say call somebody, so you see somebody in the 2 months of the wedding, is it that? Even to the extent students and all, they call them doctors and all. Doctor me Sego, my son Sego, to the extent you see those even who are not going to medical, if they're going there, some first aid treatment training, they see they realize, see they in Douala, see they have all the person with the medicine in the pocket, they call it doctor. Doctor are sick, I want paracetamol. Who knows whether the sickness you got require you taking paracetamol? You don't know. So this doctor was then, after the intervention, that his credentials entirely fictitious. But he had made the people in the community know he's a doctor. Hey, my people. How many of these people have not died, have died in the hands of these people? This guy or this man called Dr. Wise is masquerading in the corridor as a doctor. A dangerous impersonation. You know you're not doctor. You say you're doctor. Hey, Liberians. And that's why you see people carrying surgery at Vera, these clinics, even at the hospital level. While I was contemplating on this thing here, I was following a case where at the ELW hospital, one of the folks said, are you aware that we took our father there, and they said, oh, you woman, a man can't be, so they'll leave all necessary information, anything you'll call me and find some of the children or grandchildren or the folks who stay with the old man. You will not believe this troubling news. They never called this daughter of this father, and and they said there was a major operation to be carried out. The operation was administered. How can you have somebody's stomach cut from left to right, and the children or grandchildren don't know the cause of the reason why there was a operation recommended, what they were looking for, what? After cutting from left to right, if you want to do, normally you see, I'm not a medical person, right? But normally you see, there are some stitches carried out, then for banishing. But they left the person like that and banished. For 4 days, they were looking for what they were looking for in the person's belly or what. And at the end of the full day, or before the full day could end, this person expired. I said, wow. At the ERW hospital. I've been wondering, why is this? Now, the family won't find the doctor who carry on the operation. They don't know, the hospital cannot even tell the doctor. Who told the doctor to carry on this? The daughter of the father said, I have my father here, well, some woman can be here. But then, who told? Because every time there's an operation, they say, you come, there's a major operation. Some from them was signed. Even we call our number, she could go there and say, yeah, send this to the kids, I'll sign my father in this. But nothing of such. Then you come in the local clinics, you find people purport themselves with doctors who want to carry on operations, leading to the death of people. Even so that, some clinic is circumcision. Somebody have damaged somebody's children. That even tomorrow, your wife will ask me, but why be like, I don't know, whatsoever like this. Because one man told the family he can do it without knowledge of doing it. My people, these are the kind of information the Ministry of Health and all relevant institutions, like that of the Liberia Medical and Dental Council, the Ministry of, I mentioned the Health Ministry, I don't know, it's so, they are to give out to the people, even medical institutions. They are to inform the people. Just understand, by you telling somebody that don't leave yourself, you get sick, you can't move before you go to the hospital. Don't accept anybody who you see selling drugs in the bucket or in his bag, and you see the person to be a doctor. Some of them were just probably cleaners in the hospitals, but things are getting tough. And they have had years to say, I know something, I know it. I can clean sew the Adam, I can do the one. When you cut, I can sew. Just that. But if there are information, the awareness given to the people will now see those people as doctors. But Liberians don't know who is a doctor, except when you go in the hospital, it's all right, doctor in white clothes. But people they see outside in medical clothes, they call them doctors. Even to the extent that those who are there to be physician assistant in the institution, schooling, who are there to be first aid, they call you doctors outside. Even if you're just selling medicine, drugs, what they call a black bucket, they call you doctors. But you hear the ministry say, no, don't see the point, doctor, that's all. Our people are dying in this country because of lack of knowledge. The institutions that have been created with the authority to inform, they are not doing it. And you know that the Liberia Medical and Dental Council has closed about 2 institutions currently, and now hearing this news. And the young man, the little boy, has been turned out to the CEO of JFK Medical Center Dr. Lena Batch, and they have agreed with a full medical evaluation and the proper treatment. And GFK has since assumed full responsibility of this matter in the issue of diagnostic, care, and ensuring that the child received the proper medical attention that he was previously denied. Now, this man, what we call Dr. Wise, that goes to be doctor, he said he will be doctor. He has admitted that he was not a licensed medical doctor. You see? Yeah, this country, Liberia. Why are we so much wicked as such? Is this how far we have reached? That seeing our fellow die is no longer an issue. Now we're standing by our hands. You see that it's bad. It's so sad, man. It's so sad. So sad. But there's only Liberia Medical and Dental Council, even the health ministry. How many of these cases are around? Imagine if you are seeing these cases just in Monserrate County. I don't know we're talking about who at the ELWA. Every time I say that, it gets me off. Imagine a man between 27 and 29 that they carry on a lab analysis and a child 2 years old. The nurse there took the 29 years old man lab analysis, the prescription they gave her the drugs, carry it to administer it to a 2 years old child. And every time I say this thing, if that young child was given a chance today, he could say, uncle, very bright. But because of the lackadaisical attitude of our people, you do the work, I don't say you force to do it, or you don't want to do it, so I don't know how to describe the action of our people. And this is what a lady was saying to me the other day. Just a few days. She said, my father died. I don't know what my father died from. They said, it's an operation. I don't know what kind of operation they did with my father. They can't tell me till today. What kind of operation they will tear, they will cut the person from left to right, looking for what thing? That diamond inside the man they're looking for what? Then they get confused. Is it possible you cut somebody from left to right and you still managing them with 4 days? That's death. Because there's an excruciating pain the person go through. Oh my God. Oh my God. And the Liberia Medical and Dental Council, they themselves, that's one of the institutions, they don't get information on Liberian people. They are operating isolations. Yeah. But they got money for publicity. They got money for awareness. But they will sit and eat it. But now, when they receive some allegation on their head, then they come on the side, they want to defend. Imagine if you have these cases in Monserrate. Tell me about Brown County. Tell me about Bapolu. Tell me about Lofa, Sino, Maryland. How many of our people are just dying? But I don't mean to say, yeah, man died, go bury him. Well, if he died, nobody knows. Well, is he coma? Who knows? They go bury him. Because our institutions have turned themselves to be a weakling. They sit back and they want to get a pay and somebody else do their work who will expose other you people. I'm not saying it's not working. I let the movie on. But with the urgency, LMDC, with the urgency, you got a lot to do. So please wake up. Please wake up. Please wake up. Please, LMTC, you got a lot to do. Because as I'm speaking now, they are feeding the white bucket doctors. They're giving them, some of them giving an injection and all. Sometimes when they get worse, they reach to the hospital, the doctors and nurses who are qualified are confused. They don't know what's going on. Oh my God. Let me hold it there, man. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, this is the heat. Good afternoon.
So when we are discussing the issue of victim, let us look at their ages. Let us look at their ages. The children below 18 and those above 18 and at a certain level, those are the different kind of categories we should be discussing. But one thing we can say here today, Honorable Speaker.
On today is the 8th of April 2025. Today is Tuesday, and a pleasant welcome. We are on YouTube Cool Channel 2. We also on Facebook Cool at the search handle. You will find us. We also on 91.9 on www.knews.com online. We are also live around the world, and a pleasant welcome on this line. You know, this is what I want to say to you today. You know, if care is not taken in this country, there will be a serious tribulations or a massive tsunami, a massive failure of our lords. You know, is it because the news of these people? That's what I'm asking myself or asking other questions, and I'm asking Liberians today. Is it because the names of those are called? Is it a reason why that the Independent Commission on Human Rights is coming up? But if it was Mayata's son in real life, today he's in stoppage. Or Omen Fumoku's son. The office of the ombudsman said the continual failure of those to appear before the office of ombudsman for hearing their allegations and violations of Part 5 of the Code of Conduct had led to them taking a decision on several government officials, 20 of them, $1,000 US. But listen, the Independent Commission on Human Rights has said something, and this is the reason why I will bring this before you, because they are to appear tomorrow. Look at the names, father and daughter in one situation. Councillor Kopokra, Minister of Labour. The Liberia Petroleum Refining Company, Managing Director Amos Tue. Here are the names. The National Port Authority. The board chair, J. Luto Tape, and 17 other people. The office of the ombudsman said because of their failure, they fined them 1,000 each. And tomorrow they have to appear. And if they don't appear, the office will recommend what is in their confined to the president. Should these people be in violation of the law? If you see, generally, Part 5 of the Code of Conduct speaks about political participation, reported violations, appointed officials of government. Did you see someone selling in the market? Let me just give you a gist. Part 5, Section 1 of the law. All officials appointed by the President of the Republic of Liberia shall not A. engage in political activities, canvass or contest for elected offices. B. use government facilities, equipment, or resources in support of partisan or political activities. C. serve on the campaign team of any political party or the campaign of any independent candidate. This is what the law says. This is part 5.1. Then the office of the ombudsman said these were violated in this area, and this is it. Your come investigation. Listen, the office will call on the 19th of February. Lawyer representing those officials requested a 1-week postponement in order to able them prepared. They're not talking about is illegal. Then, in response to the subsequent summons, the lawyers again on the 24th requested another 1 week. So the institution that are calling you up for issues, so because you know that you want me to respecting them? For what reason? For what reason? Here the memes, and I'm sure that when the office of the ombudsman took this, Kasafideka took this decision, the president is so happy because the president is saying, I'm not the only person who's seeing, who watching, who knows what should be done. But somebody somewhere in a position is saying, is in my confine to do this. Listen to what. Listen. Let me tell you what. We'll call the names of those people further, not just them. But listen. Anthony Mohammed El Dost family is saying that there is no legal framework that supports the action constituted by the office of the ombudsman. Hey, Liberia, is this how we'll build this country? The ombudsman is saying, this fall within our purview, these officials should appear before us. They don't say guilty, and he's saying, why, without investigation, the office is imposing fines. They say, even at the Supreme Court or supporting the court, I haven't heard of any party being fined such amount where a such authority under the code is there a regulation created by the office of ombudsman. You ask a question, but the ombudsman is saying the continual failure to appear. Are we getting this, Liberians? The continual failure to come. These allegations on you, come. Violation of the code of conduct in your area, you see, come. You are not the only person. Hey, Liberia. The Human Rights Commission is now saying, they are arguing that part 14 of the Code of Conduct, they talk about infringement. In part 15, they talk about sanctions are required. It requires the imposition of fines only after a person is being judged wrong. They say why we are agreeing that these penalties mentioned include suspension, however, and all that, but the ombudsman fined these people $1,000 for not attending the hearing is concerning, and it's going to happen before Liberians. Should we have a nation where officials are into flagrant disrespect of our laws, and the office of the ombudsman is saying, we are not saying to you that this, but your failure, that's what made us to do this, your failure. You know, like almost like our officials almost like putting fire on total bag, right? And it's a total walk fast or you don't move faster. But I bet you when you just put a cold fire on the back of a turtle, that's the time you know how fast turtle is. Because when it lie for a while and now they burn that fire, enter the shells, they feel very uncomfortable. It starts to move. And this is what he's saying. That these people are all officials of government, from the executive branch, they are fined. They were all appointed by the president as member of the executive. And that the office of the ombudsman is not close with the authority to fine these people. What are we saying, Liberians? Are we finding means to quantify the violation of our laws? But it's good that these issues are before the Liberian people. And before I go further, I love to name those who, listen to the names of those people. Like I said to you, father and daughter. You listen first, the Minister of Labor, Councillor Kopo Okra, and I mentioned him first. Listen to other names. Councillor Cornelia Tukwa, Anthony. She's Anthony Cornelia Tukwa, the daughter of Minister Kra. Also, Deputy Minister for Administration of the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, Mosaralo County Superintendent, Mr. Warwick Bryant, Assistant Minister for Fire Service, Assistant Fire Service Director, to be frank, Assistant Fire Service Director, Mr. Emmanuel K. Farr, Ambassador Sheikh Mustafa Kuyate, Commissioner Ben A. Fofana of the Liberia Telecommunication Authority, or TA, Assistant Minister for Urban Affairs at the Ministry of Internal Affairs, and other folks. And remember the likes of PNG City Mayor, Assistant Minister for Operation, Deputy Minister for Operation and the Ministry of Internal Affairs, all. This is before the Liberian people, right? You sir. But this is what Anthony Mohammed Adost family is saying, that the Amos-men have no legal right. And Amos-men have said to them, all you people, this 20 persons, if tomorrow you people don't appear, there will be further actions recommended to the president. But you people should appear. I'm asking you the first question. Should we really have our officials of government violating the laws, especially when it comes to the code of conduct? Mind you, the president of Liberia also said that all those who have not declared their assets, the month of March, no salary. And it happened. Coming at the closure of that, he told the CSA boss, he said, no, leave it, don't relent. All those people who still have not declared, they don't remain on the list. We'll use that money for the one child, one chair, so that we will get chairs for our children. Little schools. And we are getting a report allegedly that majority of the folks who find themselves in that category have not declared their asset. Is it that they are taking the president's statement lightly? Is it that they want to disrespect the president? You are the judge. And we are here again. He said no salary, no benefits. Let me take this water break. Good afternoon.
The highest, the greatest aspect of our population is from the young people. The young people, the population of the young people is very high. And I would like to send this caveat to all of the police, including myself. This is nothing that we should talk about. This is nothing that will come on the floor and we will start to play around this. I'm a bit disappointed, Honorable Speaker, that the issue of drugs that is affecting our entire nation today will come on this floor, and I will see us handling it. Other people are trying to bring up other points that we should understand as people so that we can find a better component to this. And I will see us having different kind of discussion on the floor, causing distraction. So what I would like to send to all of the young people in Liberia it is time October 10, we'll be going to the pool to vote. The young people of Liberia, if we do not make a decision in this legislature, I'm not saying them, I'm saying we. If we as members of the 54th National Legislature, if we do not achieve on passing this into law to make sure the young generation is being protected, I'm asking all of the young people of Liberia to vote all of the 103 members, all of this place, because that law has affected our generation and we have to take it seriously. What I'm saying, our committee, the committee have gone to the discussion and they have had a discussion where we should be discussing on those different components and find a way forward so that we can make decisions, and that decision should not go more than 1 week in making sure that this being enacted into law. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And you are taking the drink, that drink drops, you understand taking it. Are you coming? Thank you.
He does not have the moral character to discuss rule of law. So we who have got moral character to discuss rule of law, let us talk, and not the president.
The IG said no legislative eminence will be given to anyone who might fall default.
The laws are there.
Assuming if Representative Fopo comes and he wants to be detained, or he was going to be detained by the
will not be detained.
We'll come back and go to the lines for your listening pleasure here. And you know, all of those that are involved in this, we love to call their names. And remember, the Ombudsman said that the office of the Ombudsman has said that tomorrow they all have to go there. You have heard the name of Labour Minister Kupo Kra, Dr. Managing Director Amos Tue, the chairman of the board of directors, J. Luto Tape, and all that. And you heard about Councillor Anthony Cornelia Kra, Tape, and all those. Now, Ms. Lucia Masali Yale, Mr. Emmanuel Zor, Anthony Cornelia Kra, talk about it, I mentioned her name, Warwick Bryant, that Mr. Emmanuel Kefa, Ambassador Sheikh Kuyate, I mentioned his name earlier on, Mr. Ben Fofana, Ms. Patient Randall, Mr. Elmer Ford, Mr. Selena P. Marpe, Mr. Melvin Cephas, Ms. Lucia Tape, Mr. Robert Bestman, Mr. James Yole, Mr. Collins Tamba, Mr. Kaswa Listen B. Kanswa, excuse me, and Kukuwa Double. They are all on this process here. But we'll take a few development from Africa. We'll come back, we'll go to the lines to talk to you on today. Good afternoon. Be with us until 1:30. We'll open the lines. Fit doctors is on the alarming stage. And Liberians, folks have been affected day by day. And the issue of serious awareness is still waiting to be implemented in the interest of the Liberian people. Let's travel into Africa to get some development on today. And today, let's go to Algeria. Our first stop will be into Algeria today. Algeria has banned flights to and from Mali after repeated violations of its airspace. According to the country's state television, the move comes amid rising tensions between the two countries. The decision announced on Sunday follows a series of incidents where Mali's aircraft allegedly violated Algeria's airspace, and in response, the government has taken action to ensure its sovereignty and security in the region. Mali, which has faced ongoing security challenges in recent years, have yet to formally respond to Algeria's latest move. The government could further strain diplomatic relations between the two countries. More on that, you go there and check it out to get a full detail coming out there for you on today. Our next topic is Sudan, where South Sudan courts U.S. visa revocation unfair, citing mistaken identity. South Sudan has criticized the revocations of U.S. visas for all nationals as unfair and says it was based on an incident that didn't involve of its citizens but another African national. The United States State Marco Rubio said Saturday that the decision to revoke all visas from South Sudanese came because the country government failed to accept the return of its citizens being removed from the United States promptly. South Sudan Foreign Minister said in a statement on Monday that the deportee who were denied U.S. entry on Friday was found to be a Congolese national. He was returned to the United States, and all supporting evidence was shared with the American officials. The government deeply regrets the fight, despite this history of collaboration and partnership. South Sudan now faces a broad revocations of visas based on an isolated incident, including misrepresentation by individuals who is not a South Sudanese national on that. But on that, you go there and check it out to get a full detail of that coming up on today. Let's now move on to Tunis on this afternoon at the ES Tunis and Sundown set for CAF Championship League first quarter decider. Let's take a few bit of sports on this issue here, as the CAF Championship League quarterfinals tied between ES Tunis and the Medelloli Sundown will reach a thrilling conclusion on Tuesday. On today, South Africa SARS 2016 champions secured narrow 1-0 win in the first leg thanks to the second half strike from poor Schuliner. However, the fourth-time champion ES Tunis are favored to overturn the deficit and book their space in the semi-final. Should they progress, ES Tunis will have the chance to seek revenge after Egyptian giant Al Ahly, who denied them the title in last season upon. And more on that, you go there and check it out in the world of sports on today. And still into Africa, before we go on the line this afternoon, news coming in that a Nigerian makeup artist jailed for throwing cash at his wedding. Amuska is the latest Nigerian to be in prison for 6 months for abusing currency there. And also, Dawson died after the torrential rain hampered Congolese capital, Kinshasa. Is prone to soil erosions, and the president warned the climate crisis making flooding worse. And Zimbabwe to scrape tariff on U.S. goods at the face 18% Trump leverage. President Mnangagwa says he wants improved relations, doing days after Donald Trump said the U.S. would impose an 18% tariff on Zimbabwe. Now let's go to the lines to talk to you on this edition of the program. It's a regular future taking our trip outside Liberia. And today a blind Muslim who helped being a Malian musician to the world in 2000 has died last week at the age of 80. Let's go to the lines to talk to you on this afternoon, and please speak with civility and speak to the issues that are being discussed. Let's talk to our first caller. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, you're welcome. Go ahead. Okay, you're welcome. Thank you. Let those have the need. Good afternoon. You're welcome. Go ahead.
even I think the rest of the government will even for the beginning that where the access. It only becomes the one that makes the work, and then they don't come to one day, and then for 40% of the somebody who can after staying for a national cover, and then places don't cover the people they are doing. So there is no regard for the access generation or for the national leadership, for the government and county. Nobody's trying to respect because they want to do it properly and they just come down. So very national stuff and then.
But the law said that the law said when you get in a position you declare an asset. Oh, okay, thank you. Let me talk to another caller here. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. How are you?
You're welcome. Go ahead. Okay, let me talk to another caller. And our focus point is the article access. Are those who were called for code of conduct? Those who were called for code of conduct are the ones they are to appear tomorrow. But Councillor Formula is saying the ombudsman has no jurisdiction to impose a fine. Good afternoon. Go ahead. Okay, so we need strong prayer for the country. Those names that are being called, yeah, go ahead. Okay, yeah, make sure you do that run poll work. They are the ones who elected you. Now, 20 persons fined by the Office of the Ombudsman, but then now the Independent Human Rights Commission saying the Ombudsman holds no jurisdiction, and they said these people had a violation of Part 5 of the Code of Conduct, and for that they were called on several occasions. Their lawyers went to postpone